Hey everyone, my name is Corey, and I've been a member of the Batman statue collector community for roughly 8 months now. And I've been watching the channel well before then, and I've really enjoyed getting to know the ins and outs of the statue hobby from it. I'm a relatively new collector when it comes to statues. As a matter of fact, this is my first XM piece I've had the privilege to own. I just received Joker this week, and was honored and frankly shocked when Batman Statue Collector asked if I wanted to contribute to the community with a review. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, everyone. So we'll start with the box that it comes in and work our way in from there. As you can see, it's quite a nice design. I really love the layout. It's very simplistic and just uses the overall Joker color scheme for the box. You can see to the side here that we have a little bit of green on the bottom as well to accent it. And then we of course have the styrofoam box that it sits in inside. So for those that haven't received an XM piece before, like myself, this is how it comes packaged. Has those Velcro straps, which are really nice. You get an assembly guide, which is fantastic. Shows you all the pieces and where they go and how they fit. It's very simple for this particular scale. Also wanted to point out all those who contributed to this piece. It's stellar, fantastic. And certainly want to make time to shout out to these individuals and everybody involved for a stellar piece. So now we'll look at the statue itself. All right, so before we get into the review of the statue itself, I do have it assembled already, but for those that are looking to get it or have yet to receive it, I did want to kind of showcase what it's going to look like in the box, packed, and then kind of what goes into assembling the statue itself. So if we look at the instructions here, the guidebook, this is how it's going to come packaged for you. Very simple and straightforward to put together. It was very nicely packaged. It's all wrapped up in plastic and very protected in the styrofoam. And as we go through the rest of the book, it's going to have basically step-by-step of how to assemble. Now, a good thing to point out is that this base actually supports lighting on the eyes. Unfortunately, at the time of this recording, I did not have any AAA batteries to showcase that for you here. But again, the switch for the light is on the very back, and you can start to see previews of kind of all the details that go into the base as well. Initially, you'll be putting 2 keys on the back slot of the base, and those are very important to go ahead and put on first before sliding on Joker himself. You'll see that he does end up resting slightly on the crank that goes onto the tank back there as well. As we go through here, we'll be putting on his laughing gas canister and his gun. And I'll go over this a bit more in depth when we get to the statue review, but the hands itself are going to be a bit difficult, or at least were for me, to slide in and make it fit, unfortunately. But it's good to be expecting kind of maybe a couple of issues here or there, but they're very minor, at least for mine, which I'm very fortunate for. Now, one thing I did notice in the back here at the very end is we actually have the character overview of an X-Men Mystique, which I found pretty funny. I didn't know Joker could shapeshift, right? But anyway, great product, and now we'll move on to the statue itself. Okay, so here he is, finally. Definitely, I think the most important, the alpha of Batman's rogues gallery, so to speak, at least for myself. The Joker. What an amazing piece in person. Again, this is the first time that I've seen it in person. Seen lots of video and photos of the piece from XM, from various collectors leading up to the release. But of course, it's always going to be absolutely different experience when you see it in person. So look, we'll zoom into his little chatter bots that really come with him. I got a few extras that I did not expect, which really adds to the kind of the environment where you choose to place and display Joker. You can display them any way that you like. We have some with just one stick of TNT dynamite in the teeth. And then we have the flag, which of course is synonymous with the Joker shooting guns and kind of toying with Batman and others. And then we have a huge bomb in this guy here, which is just, again, really love the accent pieces that come with this statue. And we have bigger TNT chatterbots going through. And again, look, you can really just imagine the mayhem and destruction that Joker's really bringing to Gotham, rolling through the streets, really looking for trouble, hoping to bring Batman out to play. So let me move these to the side, and we'll move over to Joker proper. Let's move him up here. All right, so we'll look at the front of the statue here. As you can see, it's not just a flat white paint application on his face. There's actually a lot of texture and pigments coming through to really look like it's slapped on, similar to war paint, I would say, where he's not completely white, and so you have that depth of field to show his skin coming through on the bottom there. Obviously, it's all going to be somewhat white, but I think the differences in kind of depth really play off here very well. You can see his teeth there as well. Adds a bit of really high detail to his face, pulls off his smile very sadistically, and it's just really fantastic. You can see on his hair as well that there's a gradient of green going throughout, and the application again is just stellar, and I really it's just amazing how the head sculpt has turned out, including the eyes here. Just wow, right? I mean, it just stares right at you, evil incarnate, just fantastic. So we'll pull back here, and he's got his usual purple suit on, green, accessories as well underneath his suit. Got his laughing canister there as well. You have laughing gas pouring out of his gun as well, which just is amazing how they've managed to pull off having it look like gas and not really a solid per se. You can even see on the teeth, they've added a lot of weathering and wearing on the actual paint application itself, which really just adds to, the environment being dark and gritty. And, he's probably used this many times over and over again to really bring some destruction to Gotham and trouble for Batman. And you can see that he has the handle here. Now, I will say that this was a bit of a troublesome aspect of putting it together, where you'll have to slot in his hands into the keys. Now, when I originally took the gun out of the box, his arm was just about down to here, and it wasn't going to fit up at all. So I was a bit worried. But what they've done, at least here, is that this is a bit flexible and can bend ever so slightly. And I actually had to bend this inward quite a bit in order to get it to actually fit. It is in there very snug. There are some magnets on the back of his hands as well to further hold it steady as well. And you'll see that that's going to lead to his gas canister attached to the gun. And we'll swing it around and get some more detailed shots of that as well. Just want to get to the front at the moment. Further down to his tank that he's standing on. Absolutely fantastic design. I really love it. The metal application for the paint, the wear and tear, the weathering, again, just absolutely phenomenal. It really looks like it's seen some action. Just really kind of hammered together and in usual Joker fashion, just to really get it out there and cause some destruction. You can see the tank treads as well are very worn. Really like that aspect to it. The pavement as well. Wow, it's just crumbling underneath his base. You can see the road marks here of the lines. You can just imagine him rolling through Gotham, just really causing a lot of problems. And then inside the bomb here we have Boom and all of the laughing as well that you would usually see with Joker on anything that he kind of creates as well. So we'll turn it around here so you can see the side details. So we'll go down. So the side of the tank treads are purple in color. Paint application again is quite good. It is somewhat a bit flat here, especially the metal section in the middle of the treads here. Hopefully there would have been some more weathering as well here. But overall, you'll be looking at the front of the statue the majority of your time, so they won't really stand out very heavily. You can see on the side here, we have two big old bays where I imagine the chatterbots come out with their bombs and flags and whatnot. An exhaust pipe here on the back. And then we have the actual gas coming through on the side here as well. And again, just the detail, the depth of the laughing gas cloud is just phenomenal. You can see all the details in the inner workings as well in the contraption. It's just really great. We'll keep going up here to a side profile. And again, love the hair. Classic Joker. Absolutely phenomenal. So we'll continue to rotate him around here towards the back. Now, they didn't really have to add this type of detail to the back, but they got a huge bullseye with Joker's face on it, and you're rarely ever going to see it. But it's the extra mile that they went to really add just a feel to the piece, and just adds to the overall base as well, since it's so large. I'm glad they didn't actually just leave it blank, which is nice. So the back profile here of Joker. Now, one thing I will point out as well is that my back foot does not sit flush with the divot made for it. And unfortunately, it's very, very, it's very slight, but it's not going to be noticeable unless you're actually looking for it or at a certain angle. But his foot does rest a bit on the crank for the tank there, but you can see the divot is kind of not really hitting its mark at the moment. So I imagine some, temperature changes really cause some issues there. And then we'll come through on the side here as well, the other side of Joker, and we'll start from the bottom here. Now this is just, again, just a great piece, composed very well. You can see the laughing gas tank has a lot of depth to it as well. It's really going to have, it looks like there's cotton placed inside to really give it a more of a depth inside as well. It's actually moving particles up in there, which is great. So overall, I think it's just, I'm really just blown away by this Joker. And I can't wait to see what other pieces they'll do in the 1/6 scale. Hopefully some Penguin or Riddler is what I'm hoping for. But overall, yeah, superb. Thank you so much for your time, and really appreciate it. Thank you.